Protests once again ramping up nationwide following the police shooting of Jacob Blake with new calls for change.
Yeah, and for the public discourse, you may have been wondering about the best way to open up your mind right now, learn more about others or everything going on has you concerned. So here to help us is licensed marriage and family therapist Lisa Lichtenstein. Thanks for joining us once again, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning.
I first want to ask you, we are talking about the pandemic. We're seeing violence in the streets and protests again. Of course, now we have hurricanes, fires going on. What can people do if their anxiety levels are once again through the roof?
Right. So anxiety is completely natural right now. If we look at our world right now, like you said, there's just tons of stimuli that are going on that could make us very anxious. We don't really have a lot of control over what's happening outside the world of us, in the world around us. But what is constant is our ability to go inward, to turn inside into our thoughts, our emotions, and our needs. So you can think of our internal world as our constant. We can go in and learn how to check in with your emotions. What am I feeling right now? For example, if there's anxiety, okay, what would make me feel more relieved? Perhaps, watching the news 4 to 7 a.m., KABC, and then maybe just having some breaks to do things that are lighter, figuring out what you're needing as well. And if your thoughts are kind of spiraling into negativity or into some of the bad news out there, let yourself know that while that's all true, you get to focus on also what's here in the moment. You can take a walk and look at nature. You can call a friend. You can do things that are really good for you. So going inward is the constant right now, that you have the potential to really create more calm and meet your needs.
A lot of kids are going back to school now, and parents and children are struggling with it. So what is your advice to help parents and kids deal with the anxiety of going back to school, maybe distance learning?
Right. So anxiety, the best way in which we can really help ourselves is find out, what am I anxious about? If we don't really get to the root of the problem, the anxiety almost spirals in our mind endlessly. So you can just pause for a moment when you have some time, get to the root of it. What am I anxious about? For example, if you're anxious that your child may be falling behind, what are some steps you can do? Maybe call the staff, call a teacher, call some parents, figuring out, I think there's some free tutoring out there. There's a lot of resources. First, just find out what is the source of my anxiety, and then how can I problem solve?
We love that. And we've already discussed this with other parents as well, getting ideas on certain situations already in a couple of weeks, and it's helped us greatly. Lisa,
absolutely.
Thank you for your time once again.
Thank
we
you.
always feel better
My
after
pleasure,
talking
always.
with you here on the Morning
Yay.
News.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All righty.